As soon as a problem emerges, our quest begins. And this is a very interesting quest because in trying to fix the problem, we actually come in touch with something more amazing and beneficial at hand. It begins to expand our awareness, and we come into who we really are. Our real potential is unearthed. This is the law of anti-fragility, and in today's little session, I would like to invite you to sit in this inquiry with me. It may be a brand new concept for some of us, but I promise you it will be groundbreaking. Thank you. My name is Dipali Parmar. Welcome and namaste. Let us begin by considering this, that every single day we are actually on a quest. If we are aware of why we are doing what we are doing. For example, when we get up in the morning and go to work, we know why we are doing this. We are doing it, of course, to make the money to provide for our needs. We are doing it because we have a purpose. We have promised and committed to serve a certain set of people. So no matter what is the situation, we are out there on our quest. And then the problem emerges. Every day there is some problem to be solved, no matter however small. This, when the problem emerges, is the opportunity to get in touch and tap into the quest beneath. How does one do this? I have learned from my practice of empathic listening to be present to the problem before fixing it, or not fixing it, but to take enough time to engage with it and say, aha, I see this is the problem, describing it, seeing it, experiencing it, embodying it, hanging out with it. As long as the problem removes its charge from me and stops feeling demanding or oppressive. In doing so, something amazing happens. Before we carry on to see what really happens, let's look at what exactly happens. When a problem emerges, we don't consider it a quest or anything. We just say, okay, this is a problem, we need to get rid of it. And so that life and everything else can go smoothly as planned, as expected, and we can meet our goals. So the first approach we have, which is hardwired, is to fix it. Find any means and quickly, efficiently, and effectively fix it. This we are hardwired to do. This is the reptilian brain that says flight or fight. The second one is the fight response. Avoid it. If you can't fix it, just push it under the carpet, put it away on the shelf for a later date, ask an expert later on, and stuff like that. Again, we are hardwired to use our flight, fight, or freeze response. But there's a third option available, which from a reptilian brain, which we usually operate from, is not accessible easily. It's something we have to train and build the muscle for. And this is called leaning into the problem. You will find many research and design research and scientists first do this. Artists, creatives will sit with the problem, play with it, goof around with it, lean into the difficulty, the discomfort of the problem. And so you become present to it. When a problem presents itself, our reptilian brain kicks in, which does not allow us to examine it. It comes in the way because we don't want it. We just want to get on with our stuff and not have this unpleasant experience. So we try our level best to get rid of it. and even embody the problem. So we can't embody it, obviously, which is what advanced conscious sensate living or whole being awareness is about. So you're actually tapping into your whole being intelligence, which is not just containing you as a person, which is not comprising of your memories, experiences, knowledge, and so on and so forth, but is also connected to the collective memories, experiences, knowledge, so on and so forth. And what does this do? It integrates and allows us to, let me take you to the next slide so you can hear this and see it clearly. What does it really do? If we are present to it and say, aha, I'm curious how this problem has emerged. Let me see it, sit with it. Where did it start? How did it happen? Not from a place of judgment and analysis, but from a place of genuine curiosity and inquiry into just considering the problem as a person and getting to know it literally before saying that you are welcome or unwelcome. Just getting to know it. All right, so let's go to the next slide. I hope you're enjoying so far. Thank you. The quest emerges with the problem. And the quest is not just to fix the problem, but I hope you repeat this next part with me or write it down so that it becomes fun. The quest is not just to fix the problem, which is a very minor thing actually, and can easily be done in most situations today, but to change our relationship with the problem itself. So the first thing that happens when a quest problem emerges is we get busy trying to solve it. This whole attempt of trying to get busy trying to solve it distracts us from seeing the bigger opportunity here. The bigger opportunity is being present to it. First, this alters our relationship not just with this problem, but with every other problem that will ever emerge. We no longer will look at problems as a problem, but we will now see them as an opportunity. So that's a fundamental shift. You'll welcome it, you'll be open to it, you'll receive it. That itself removes a lot of the charge that comes with the problem, and most of us get mired into the charge of the problem and not even the fixing of it. I mean, how many times have we stood by our car when there's a flat tire and fussed and complained and grunted in frustration before getting on with changing the tire, which is inevitable. But that whole energy of frustration doesn't even give us the enjoyment or exploration of what it means to change a tire and have a little break on the way to do something you hadn't planned to do. What else it does is it kicks in the whole being intelligence, which means while you're simply leaning into the discomfort of the problem, a whole set of connected realities and issues also begin to be seen and heard. The important thing to note here is being seen and heard. The first thing that a problem or an unpleasant situation requires is to be seen and heard for what it is. And the same applies with ourselves, our human emotions, and anybody else who may be going through a unpleasant experience. First, the person needs empathy. And the intelligence of empathy is that it is very inviting. It doesn't resist anything. So there's no resistance. Once there is no resistance, you begin to see other aspects of what are the possibilities here. For example, let's take the same flat tire situation. You might think of it as, oh, it's really a nice opportunity for me to take a break and maybe see if there is a small chai shop nearby and have a cup of tea. Or maybe I want to sit and just give a call to my family. Or I want to just take a stroll by the highway and take in the view, give my legs a break. So a whole new set of opportunities begin to present themselves because we take time to say, here is a roadblock. I don't want to jump over it quickly. Let me just see what it is all about. And this applies to everything from a very small problem to a very big problem in companies and corporations and individuals' health and well-being, mental health also. So the fourth part is what alters is the relationship with the problem, thereby empowering you to expand, not just grow but evolve. So this process is not about just growing, which in today's terms we think of growth and in a very linear fashion is vertical, but expansion is in all directions. So you might even have a brainwave of something you were working on because you stopped engaging with it head on and you took an artist step back, like you step back to take a good look at it, be with it before striking another brushstroke or attempting to alter its reality in any way. So here's the icing on top, but there is the cherry that I must share with you too. So for that, bear with me. We go to the next slide. Thank you. The cherry is still not ripe enough to pluck, but let me share in conclusion what we just discussed. While attempting to solve a problem and look for a solution, we learn to be present in the new way of thinking, in the conscious way of thinking. We become present, we embody the problem, we lean into it instead of away from it. And most often, it solves itself. The problem solves itself, or it no longer appears a problem. Like in the case of fixing a flat tire, it is no longer a problem, but an opportunity to do a couple of other things that are enjoyable, relaxing, and bring that same energy of relaxed effort to fix the tire and change the tire again. So this process is your whole being awareness, your intuitive awareness, your collective intelligence, which is at play. Many possibilities emerge here, which are amazing to even witness and very humbling on this journey of being human. I would love to share these with you in great detail. And I believe these personal stories of how one has dealt with crises, challenges from this whole new approach, sharing the stories in detail is where a shift naturally begins to occur in the other person. And I've seen this happen so many times over, which is why I'm making this effort to put this video out into public so that if anyone else resonates with what I'm sharing, it's welcome to connect with me. I will leave a link where you can find a way to sit in a session where we can lean into the discomfort together and once and for all change your relationship with problems. So let me go and get the cherry for you. Thank you. The cherry, and so here it is, the cherry on top. So while we are on a quest of when the problem emerges, we approach it as a quest, then what we're looking at is first meeting ourselves exactly where we are. Meeting yourself in the place of discomfort and saying and admitting, oh, this is a problem I didn't want. It is very upsetting. It is very dismantling of all my plans. And admitting that first step, which I feel most often we absolutely do not attempt. We don't have a culture of doing that anymore. It is considered a sign of weakness in some form. And so when you do this, you begin to celebrate and mourn. You mourn that this incident has occurred and it's not pleasant and it's coming in the way of whatever you considered joyful, light, progressive, purposeful. Then you celebrate what indeed is an opportunity here, which you do in the former steps of leaning into the discomfort. By doing this whole thing, you're also actually exercising the first muscle of being human, and that is developing your intuitive instinct, the whole being intuitive awareness. I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you'd like to sit in this inquiry of seeing your problems as a quest, particularly with a particular problem, because I find that in many of my sessions with my clients and students, when it is to do with our own problems, it's difficult to see the opportunity there. How can I love a problem which is like, let's say, I'm losing my job. How is that not a problem? How can I be empathic and celebrate something like that? It is very difficult. It requires receiving empathy from someone else, being heard and seen for exactly what your humanity is experiencing. And then automatically you see the opportunity there. You may ask, how come this is the law of anti-fragility? Well, if you look at it, it's exactly that. When something is crumbling and breaking, while it is breaking, when you look at it, it's also building and making, right? In the same process right there, not a minute later, not a minute before. And when you begin to see this, you build the anti-fragility muscle and you come into your potential, who you really are. And that is also self-love. Then you come from an authentic self in doing whatever you do, and everything works out. Thank you. Please like and share, leave your comments, and let me know if there's any particular topic you would like me to talk on. Thank you. Good night.